Yoo-hoo! It's the time for package from China. Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. In today's video we're not going to be talking about, I really hate it when I'm going to be putting these stickers on, let's say these boxes. Man, this is so annoying. However, we're going to be chit-chatting about maybe one of the best HDMI plug-and-play Segas you can pick up. So I love it when you're going to be putting all kinds of craziness on here, like 16-bit with HD. Yeah. So since when this thing is like HD? I'm guessing this is going to be an emulated based device, that we have all kinds of new possibilities, or at least maybe old stuff like quick load, quick save. The Retro Super Drive 2 Mini is also called, and yep, they're still making all kinds of different models. However, it's a lot of fun to check it out, because some of these things are just really bad and you should avoid them at all costs. But sometimes we're finding these absolutely hidden gem of product. So the packaging itself, it's kind of nice. And you know, the first thing that comes to mind when actually seeing this is that, yeah, this thing is not mini at all. So this has like just an almost normal case, let's say in Sega Genesis or Megadrive number 2. The only downside is that we cannot put any games in there. So there is no label or any description. So I'm guessing this is just like one of those factories making these things. And you can just basically buy them in all kinds of different names and kind of colors and shapes. I would not be surprised. So but let's take a close look in the controller section, because this is also going to be a hit or miss situation. Both are packed up very nicely with these plastic bags, but they're coming with, or these like new models come with 6-button controls. And I can tell you that the D-pad feels kind of loose when it comes to that. This is a floating configuration that we have seen before. Select and start, we're having all the 6-button like normal. There is no mode button at all. And in here we're finding the battery compartment. We're just going to be putting in, let's see, let's grab myself a battery. You can put in a rechargeable if you want to. In this case, oh man, there is no screw to put in there. So, and what is interesting, we're having over here the Play 1 and Play 2 configuration. Yeah, you can already see that the LED in the middle is flickering and actually touching it. That's going to be communicating with the system. Yeah, Play 1, Play 2. So this actually indicates which controller for what player. I love it because in the past we had these, let's say, Play 1, Play 2 controller. And let's say your Play 1 gets broken, there is no way of basically replacing them. However, when it comes to this particular system, there's one thing I need to point out. We do have original, or at least original, we do have USB ports, but no original ports at all. And when it comes to, let's say, compatibility of the outputs, we're only having HDMI, we have no AV out, micro USB for the power, and we're going to be needing a 5-volt adapter, and then the SD card that contains also the firmware. I would always back up these things because you're using no brands at all. And it's only 1 GB, so you can find a very cheap SD card, like backup absolutely on something else. Something you can just drag and drop in the computer. It's super easy, or just use a program for flashing. And in here we're having the micro USB cable. Yeah, that's convenient because most products nowadays are USB-C. But let's get an adapter, let's plug this thing in, and let's see how it is when it comes to the software. Did it mess up today? I am really curious what happens if we're going to be plugging in a device like the Retrobit Genesis controller. Yeah, this thing has the option actually for a USB controller. So let's see. Let's plug this thing in and let's see if everything does it even work and what can we do in the end with this. So, okay. It just did some weird stuff, but you can see that the LED is actually blinking, so it's getting some juice at least. This controller seems to be working. You can hear the sound itself. I think I'm going to be needing to configure my controller to the dongle to begin with. So that's quite interesting to see that actually when I was booting it up, I was charging the freaking controller. That's what I hate about these wireless controllers, you know, is that they were always empty because I don't use them a lot. However, you can see the LED stopped blinking, but the controller doesn't do anything. I did disable at the beginning this controller, but oh, that seems to be still working. So what I can actually do is the following thing. We can remove this particular battery, so there's no power in there. Okay, let's turn it on and off. Let's turn this thing on, hoping that we can have any connection going on. It's initializing now. So it has been connected to the dongle, so that part works perfectly without any problem. But I've noticed that with these freaking like devices, that finding a controller that actually works with this, man, is absolutely a nightmare. But let's take a close look at the menu itself. So we're having over here sports, shooting, fighting, then we're having puzzle, adventure and downloaded. So actually we can add games to the SD card and play that way. But let's open up the download folder. So there are all kinds of stuff in here. I don't know if it's going to be 8-bit. I love the menu with the Super Drive 2. I'm guessing if you're having the right format you can even add yourself the screenshots. I do see Angry Bird number 2. So I think this is going to be that same crazy 8-bit stuff. Yep, this is the 8-bit stuff of... Yeah. And yep, I just freaking killed myself. But let's take a close look at the menu. Let's see if we can even get into the menu. There we go. We're having the option for quick load, quick save. So that's absolutely awesome when it comes to that. Screen size can be just changed up to scaled up. We're having different region. It'll automatically putting on an auto. And this way we can just return to the menu itself. Select. And that's it. So that's kind of cool. But let's do a quick overview of a couple of these, let's say, folders. Let's see how it looks and how it actually works when it comes to that. The sports list. So let's see what we're having with all of these kind of games. Action 52. You know, that makes no sense whatsoever. So the list is alphabetic order, so that's absolutely great. Like sports, like combat cars, okay, Cyberball. There are like a lot of these games are actually sports games. But so far, we've also have Megagames one that is like a sports game, seems to be. But in here we're finding all kinds of different, let's say, games. Road Rash, okay. The list is quite big, like 247 when it comes to this particular list. It's absolutely nuts. Let's take a close look at the other one. Afterburner. Yeah, there is so much actually stuff that you can just play with this. That's just insane if you ask me. I'm going to be doing a little bit faster. So far we're having over here some fighting. Maybe the old school Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. The list is familiar when it comes to certain parts. Oh, there we go. This is even bigger than the other one. Okay, so we do have bare knuckle over here, and that was the adventure. You know, and there's a little bit of a downside. There is no search function, and also the naming. Even if it was a search function, you're going to be searching for Street of Rage. You're not going to be finding it because only the Japan version, or at least the naming also of the Japan version. So just kind of interesting to see. Oh! Guess what? We also have the normal version over here, but only Street Rage 2 and 3. So, yeah, this is a gigantic list when it comes to that. Puzzle. This list is a little bit smaller, 145 of the different games. But the question remains now, how was the overall emulation? I never knew there was a game called Trampoline Terror. Seriously, never, ever haven't seen that. It's kind of interesting, you know, sometimes you find these very strange games. I'm guessing I'm going to be needing to put in the same kind of, colors I wanted to say. Okay, so that's actually what it does. What a weird game. So Wolf Trail was actually the first game I played on the Sega Mega CD or Sega CD. I don't know if there was like a graphical enhance of some kind, but it had like some really cool music. So when the menu feels a little bit sluggish, I must say that it really works well when it comes to gaming. I don't notice any input lag. And I dropped down. Oh crap. So far so good. I must say that I'm really surprised by how they didn't mess up this particular product. Audio itself is great. I don't notice any, let's say, input like I already mentioned before. This is just absolutely a pleasant experience. The controllers are just very, very nice quality. They're not comparable with the retro bit, for example, the original one. Those are like a little bit better, or better. They're like much better quality. But the controllers are enjoyable. It's unfortunate there's not like an easy way that you can replace them. Let's say if it came with like both in dongle and you can just plug in another controller, like an M30 or whatsoever. So making a quick load, quick save, this works absolutely perfect. You can just choose your slots per game. You can see we're having 5 slots and that's it. Like it even makes a screenshot and we can just continue with a certain point. So if you lose this from the boss, you can actually go to the certain part you saved. And that's it. Like this is a really fun way to play. And again, there is no cheating option. That is something I do miss, and I did notice a lot of people were asking for it in the comment section. But when it comes to playing some old school games, this is just absolutely a fun overall experience. Where I personally just love to, let's say, collect these games and just play them on an original Sega. This is just a very easy way to play. If you just want to plug it into, let's say, console, you want to bring this thing with you, this is such a fun way to play. And we have like every kind of games. You can add games. So it would be cool to have like this system that has like a custom game filled folder. Like, yes, you can make them on an SD card if you want to, but they will going to be implemented. Having all of those weird custom games. Think about like Mortal Kombat in Street of Rage, you know, there are like many custom games out there. But again, when actually playing this, like walking around, it's really enjoyable. But there's still one thing I do want to know is like what's going on when you're going to be getting into a game like this. Not a Street Fighter or something else, like a fighting game. Let's do the turtle game. The turtle game. Where is it? I know the official one over there, but I want to play it again over here to see what's going on. So let me search that freaking thing. Man, oh man. And this is what I mean. It's like absolutely freaking amazing here. Like, where are the games I want to play? And there's no way of favorites. There's no favorite freaking list. Oh. It's one of the games I love to try out, also for the soundtracks. Oh man, I love this turtle fight again. It's not the best one out there, but for me, it's my favorite. Okay. Let's try the controller. I don't have a freaking handicap today, but... So one thing is a fact that the loose D-pad is something I really need to get used to, but I think I can manage to win the freaking GPU. Come on. Just go down. But when it comes to this plug and play solution, it's surprisingly good when it comes to that. However, if you're going to be playing some old school games, yeah, you're only limited to 6-bit, maybe some 8-bit through SD card, but this is just like a Megadrive to play all kinds of cool games. However, yeah, we're going to be looking into playing original games. This is not the system therefore. There is no like modding or anything going on from the community wise. This is just what it is. Let me know in the comments what do you think of this SD2 Mini that is actually not mini. And it would be great to see you in the next video.